because their attitude is terrible. But
that's like Jesus saying, Jesus being who he is, the way Jesus sin is death, you're going to hell, but I'm going to still feed y'all. Right. With 5,000 fishes and 5 loaves of bread. That was clearly not the number.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It would have been a little less of a miracle than that number, but you know what you're saying. We get what you're saying. But no, like, I just don't rock her because her attitude. It's her attitude. Her for people who, I'm like, for somebody who claims you love the Lord so much, your attitude is terrible. And it's not just her. Some of these celebrities out here, y'all like gospel celebrities, because it's a different place. Gospel celebrities, their attitudes is terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm just be honest.
I've only met a handful of gospel celebrities. They were all nice people. So
and it depends. Like, and I hate to say this because there are those who have this disgusting attitudes, absolutely. But the thing about being famous, well, the N-word.
Church dark people.
Huh?
Dark people.
You know, not just dark people, just the fact that, like, do you know what it's like to be famous? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what it's like to have everybody in your face all the time, asking for autographs, asking for this, and we get mad at the church for being in that business for just on a Sunday. But imagine this 24/7, nonstop. Everywhere I go, you want a picture, you want a photograph. Listen to me. So to protect my peace, I'm distant.
Okay. There's a difference between distant and nasty.
No, it is, but it's given to you raw, no straight, no chaser. Because we always, and this is a double standard. Because we all protect my peace and we'll be good. No, I'm right now. No, I'm not talking to you right now. No, we're done. That's it. There's no, sweetheart, not today. No, not today. No, we're not. I'm not giving her an excuse, but you can't expect people. Your encounter, your occasions. After a while, my peace is more important than your feelings right now. And okay, I can't right now. No, there's no. Oh no, baby, I can't today. No, maybe next time. Okay, no. It's just after a while.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. And it depends on what stage of the game you're in. And everybody's not like that. Right. And and she had maybe become that. You never know. Everybody want to talk trauma and not deal with it. You have no idea who she is as a person, what she's going through, and how she's talking. And not just her, anybody, into why she is the way she is. I'm not saying that it's always the correct way, but I got a little grace on people. I understand. Every day, okay? I'm an offender, okay? but I understand because her attitude's a little different. You're an oil but girl, okay?
And that's the thing, like, I understand, like, I understand different, and, like, y'all know I met Oprah, so it was like, there's story behind that story. I'm not about to put that on the internet. But I met Oprah. Because I said it one time in Dove Sisterhood, and they still on the search. But like, I met Oprah, and even though Oprah and this was peak Oprah. This is not like I own my, my own station. I'm chilling at home, relaxing with my good curl Oprah. This is like peak Oprah. Oprah deals with people every single day, all day. I want to meet you. I want to hug you. Oh my God, I loved you, color purple. Whipping the Brewster place. When I met her, sweetest person on earth. But Oprah's also like a businesswoman. So if she's handling business, she's like, listen, hey, I'm handling business right now. I'm gonna get to you in a second. To just be, honey, like, and you being real reckless with your mouth, and you, like, for me, it's damaging of people. Like, you're...
Yes and no, because my thing is, everybody's not the same. I feel like, listen, and I will call the church out because I don't care. Okay? All right. If you go to the chapel people ain't True Bethel. Right. The background, the makeup is different, and we assume because somebody has oil in their anointing and they got some flow, she might be from these streets. Kim Burrell made Ratchet is who. So excuse me if I ain't got the, and it doesn't always, it's not always appeasing. It's not always well. And I'm not giving an excuse because people are legit. But I do understand everybody different. I got a little grace, but that means you can't expect it to side your face. I'm just saying. Doesn't exempt you from the fact that I can lay hands and I assumed you was sick. But definitely, her more specifically, I know that her demeanor outside of singing and the word is edgy.
Yeah.
I've seen her sweet outside of that, but I've also seen her cut up, depending on who she's dealing with. I've seen both sides of Kimberly just off in the distance. Though you can keep that energy. I'm good, sis. just riff, you know. Just riff on and do what you do. But what I really been disliking lately is the glimpse of clips that don't give the full contents of a story.
Yeah, those
been
are
attacking
those
the
are
church
annoying.
and the people, and I'm just like, yo, get out of here.
Right, those are annoying because sometimes they always, I felt like, and this is what almost everything, like they always just play the damning evidence.
Yeah.
They never play what
No,
made the
facts,
evidence
facts.
damning. Like,
And then it's like, we gotta do a break in a minute. We're talking good already. But and then another question too, because I'm not against theological thinking, the theologians.
But
Yet.
live by the word, die by the word.
But I wonder if theology without revelation, what for? Because this is my challenge. Because we got theologians. What I've seen recently. All right, the theologians dismiss some fresh revelation. Understand context. Understand everything. But certain things hit people a certain way. And what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing preachers attacking preachers. And then not really edifying at all. You know, it's just sickening to me what I've seen lately. I understand that, you know, you gotta be in context, you take it out of context, there's nothing the scripture says at all.
Right.
It's just not what it says. I think that's different than God giving you something. It's like seeing something that is, it's like watching Encanto and being able to realize, oh, it's really Bruno the prophet.
Right.
It hit me. And you deliver that angle to the people.
And then
somebody else want to, that's not the word. Oh no, you're not getting the point. You're not understanding the fact that I see God in everything.
Like,
right.
Literally, Bruno was a prophet
right,
that
so,
went through prophet things.
So and it's like,
He went through real prophet
Don't
things.
diminish me because you weren't open to that kind of revelation, to see that kind of insight.
Right.
Like, and that's what I got. I think what's his name? Gray. John Gray, who was cheating, his life was a little different, but they're working it out. But he had talked about Omicron, and he had defined the word Omicron, but talked about being like the little O in the Greek alphabet. But he ended up saying something along the lines of, how can I be afraid of the little O when I got the big O, being me, guy, Alpha and Omega, and they was chastising him for that delivery.
I mean, he's gonna be under fire for it. I'm gonna be honest because hold on, I'm trying to take this gum on my mouth, not in front of the. How y'all do? He's gonna be under fire for a while because of the hypocrisies of his public actions. Because like the OGD thing is not new, but it's his public actions. It's the way that he has talked about women. But then you talk about we need to edify women. Like his words are going to be completely challenged by church and world because of what he puts out.
Yeah, people don't want that smoke. People don't. They don't hate me. I'm only famous for he always talking negative. And absolutely, he's going to be challenged because of his shortcomings that are on public display. That's the consequence of being in the light.
Right.
Okay, because the same preacher that they got that little two-door church around the corner with your mom, your auntie, and your cousin. Okay. And everybody knock on his door. All the kids in the church is his. Okay.
But no, I think the reason why people came for him. Of course he cheated a couple of times, but it wasn't just him. It was his wife too, because his wife was coming for people on the internet, and it was like, yo. Get her. Like, she's not making it any worse for you. But then instead of saying I shouldn't have cheated, y'all preaching sermons about how it was the devil, it was the enemy, it was the spirit in somebody. Nigga, it's you. Sorry. It is you. It is you. Like, that's where people lost respect for him.
Yeah.
Because it was like, instead of saying, you know what, I messed up as a person,
You try to blame it on them.
you and your wife are preaching sermons about it's the devil, the spirit in that woman, and she had the lascivious spirit, and she had this kind of spirit. Okay, well, your husband humped the lascivious spirit. Like, I just need you to be like accountable for it. So that's why he lost a lot of notoriety as far as people. I can't trust your word right now, because if you can't tell the truth about your truth, how you expect me to receive from you? And for that, I get it. Like, I get it.
I do, but I'm just gonna be.
You gonna be frank.
If I've and I guess you take offense. I guess more so because you guys find out. But who I violated and who I hurt the most. I talk to my wife. I talk to my family, and I even talk to my church. I don't owe the world no. I don't owe the world the deep explanation of all my details. Right. Especially if I know I've addressed. I'm married now. I've been pulled to the front to tell the church, listen, I've been sleeping and creeping. Yep. You know, I had to go before the people and tell them and tell them that. Listen, before me, listen. Yeah. You okay? Because Lord Jesus help us all. So I get it. I understand that, and that makes sense for as how you can lose. And I understand that 100% because.
Morning, Kira.
Good morning. Listen, we ain't even to break yet. We just talking. Let me get this.
We
together.
Gotta come in hot real quick.
But definitely understand that how you can lose people because of mistakes and hypocrisy, and then angling as if you're not the blame, 100%. But John just got to come up with the big.
Because I'm gonna tell. I told the truth when I was out here in these streets. Stop praying. I'm enjoying being out here in these streets. Mm-hmm. Stop laying on your face. We gonna pray you get free. I don't want to be free. Like, I was honest. You know, if you die, you going to hell right now. I know. But that's the thing. Like, my honesty wouldn't let me lie about my truth. Mm-hmm. That's why, when Tribulation 2013 happened, I was like, yo, if I was really out here being reckless, like, I would have told you. Like, and that's the thing with John Gray. It was like, sir, if you had just said, I made this error, instead of your woman trying to be top flight security in the world and making it worse for you, because y'all both preaching about a reckless woman, y'all was both.
Well, and let me just be honest with y'all, and y'all may not like this at all.
I gotta, but and this is gonna sound funny, weird, but kind of respect his wife. She really stood by.
Number one, because this is one that's gonna let you be human. Because in human nature, and this is why you gotta have anointing, you gotta be in the presence of God, because human nature, we tend to dive into situations that we're facing, which now require, which if we gotta preach, we'll end up tapping into some stuff because it hit. The preached word don't hit one way. Right. Because just like, this woman, she was lascivious and encountered my home, this is another side, no, I failed too in areas. I hit too, this word hit. Both of them hit.
But they never said that. The whole sermon was this woman seduced. It was a spirit, like she was trying to be general. It was, when spirits and women seducing my husband, your husband still slept with her.
He still had to make a decision. Don't put it all on her because he got the cookie from another woman.
I got you.
And then you gonna do a follow-up sermon about your wife.
No, because let's be honest. Let's be real, okay? So if I love my companion, Nick, I'm not gonna hold you. If my wife does something dirty and we know, I'm gonna get in the pulpit. I'm gonna preach the situation, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna talk down about I gotta go home with that, okay? I gotta live with that. We working through some stuff, okay? So if I got to preach, I'm not gonna preach. She's not gonna preach her husband's demise. She's just not going to, and You shouldn't either. Okay. You got to level up and make everything right. But you got to deal with that. We got 50 seconds.
Lord,
good morning, y'all. I'm so sorry. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry. I'm on.
Good. I'm sorry. I guess I'm different. Like, the Lord gonna have to help me.
I hear you. I'm just saying.
As an anointed vessel of God, if my husband get up and preach this foul man, heaven forbid, Lord, if he cheats, he gonna beat you first. But if that happened, I'm gonna let you preach your sermon, but I'm not gonna back you up as far as your sermon. I'm gonna let you preach. I'm gonna sit there and be like, but when we get home, nigga.
But
watch this. But we never get to get home. I got it. Yeah. Big blood. What are y'all doing over here? Fire 716, your boy Big Frank. You're locked in the Big Frank in the morning. What it is? What's up? My homeboy homegirl Jay Cherie. Dark Knight is in the building.
Twice.
Listen. It's really hot. It's hot in the studio today. It's hot. I don't know why it's hot, but it's hot. To the point that we ain't did no break. We've been here.
We could have break 20 minutes ago. Real talk. Thank you to our faithful people on the radio who tolerate our tardiness. We getting better.
Yeah, definitely. But I want to encourage you guys, make sure y'all go on Facebook and on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. Do all those things because that's when you get content. That
jump
you
into the action.
No, fact. It be
there's
hot.
a lot of action going on this morning.
Fact, how y'all feeling this morning? Y'all feeling good, though?
Yeah. Shit,
based on the debate.
So,
real spirited conversation in the background.
Yeah, because I legit, I just become this one individual who's a young man who's very intelligent. He went to school, very, very breakdown. But I keep seeing him comment on other preachers. And I'm like, you're not even a good preacher. Like, come on. You're like, you're not even. And I'm not saying that, God gives pastors after his own heart, and he's doing it, and I'm proud of the work. Keep doing it, my brother. I'm not mad at you.
But you're pressing people that been doing it longer than you and have been
and my thing is that and I don't know if it's because he's young or there's a legit challenge, but my question was and is, do you have revelation? And that's what struck me. And the person that he just commented about happened to be John Gray, which was the John Gray situation. And yeah. I do believe that he could have handled those things a whole lot better. I do agree with that 100%. But it's people.
Sorry, Kiera said, or don't speak. Have a guest speaker. That's listen.
Sit yourself down.
Sit yourself down.
Yeah,
Be integral.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a minute.
And then it's the question of how many videos have you watched? Yeah. And at what point? Because just because you missed the video and nobody posted the clip doesn't mean he hasn't addressed it. True. Doesn't mean he hasn't dealt with it with integrity and with realness.
Okay, that's real.
And then also you don't know what he addressed at his church. I'm so sorry to the world. I don't.
For those who are tuning in, basically, our listening audience, basically what is going on is we're having a spirited discussion. John Gray cheated on his wife. We all know this. Yes. He did it a couple of times. But his wife and John Gray, I felt, this is the opinion of Jay Cherie, got into the pulpit and tried to justify the cheating by basically putting the onus on the woman saying she has a spirit in her. But they did back-to-back sermons about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's justification. I don't think it's trying to justify cheating. There's no justification. You cheated. Okay, you're nasty, you out of control, you out of order. You're dumb, you're wrong. I don't think it's justification. I just think that it took two of y'all, okay? It took both of y'all to tang and go, okay?
But she justified it by saying it was the spirit, and that woman had a lascivious spirit. This lascivious spirit came up in this church and rack house and in my marriage.
And your husband caught it. So
right.
So my thing is,
your husband was her specialized. So
then my question is though, where's the lie? Okay, because it's angled a certain way. Because if said woman did, because said women do, and it has been done on both sides of the spectrum. I done seen some homeworkers come in, walk in, rock the house, flip it upside down, get kicked out, fight in the middle of the church. I've been present for the room, and I've seen men do the same things. It's not just a woman's situation. But the man is drawn away by his own lust. He's 100% responsible for his decision to give into that which was. But if it ever came with an agenda, okay, let it visit your house and see how you feel.
But at the same time, the woman that it happened with, nobody heard her side of the story because it was clear because John Gray has also said that he dealt with a perverse spirit for a very long time. And so it may not be her. That may be the narrative they're telling to make it seem like.
If that's the case, and this is where I get it. This is where I get mad at the church a little bit because y'all on both sides of the spectrum. If I told you that we always say from the pulpit to the door, we all got sin, yes, even the preacher, even I myself, yes, me, If I've already confessed, I deal with a spirit of perversion. Sometimes preachers shut up because some people just want to pray on your pervert. Okay? This is already a battle for me, number one. Okay? So in the course of my life and my journey, guess what? I gave in today. Matter of fact, I gave in this month. Matter of fact, I was entertained for 6 months. I gave into this. Now it's out. It's out for y'all. Not knowing that it was already out at home and we've been dealing with it. Y'all just found out. So now we want to bash the preacher and cut him down because you couldn't hold up the banner. No. But we all sitting off on short of glory.
The preacher because the preacher didn't take accountability.
You say that, but I really want us to dig now because
I wasn't in the church. I don't know what they
right. My question is, we feel like we're owed something sometimes. I'm not saying you directly, but it's like who did
explanation for what you did?
Who did their due diligence in searching? Who's been following every Sunday? Who's been at the service? Who had the conversation? You don't know what he talked to his men's department about. What is? We don't outside. I don't go to this church.
Right.
I don't watch his church. I get the snippets that come across my feed. I get the storyline where we highlight the conversation in the car with him and his wife talking crazy and wild 3-4 times in a row. Okay, this is what's highlighted, but then it's like, have you done the research to find out? Has he ever confessed? Has he ever acknowledged the fact, no, I messed up. No, I did this.
Once. He has once. In an interview where somebody didn't let him off the hook. Because I remember watching the interview. And she was like, okay, but you and your wife said in the sermon it was a spirit of death. He was like, well, there, and his wife is a little mouthy. So she's like, well, there is the lascivious spirit was in her. By the end of cutting through the BS, he was like, well, at the end of the day, I did sleep with her. And
what you want from me? That's the confession.
But no, what I'm saying is it took 20 minutes in the interview instead of saying you know what, I was wrong too. Not saying because how the narrative was through the whole situation was it was this woman's fault. It was finally him in this interview where the interviewer would not let up and was like da 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 da, and he was just like, but at the end, I was responsible too because I did participate and I did cheat. Why did it take 20 minutes?
Because y'all don't get. Why do people want to control my conversation? Ask your question, I'm going to give an answer. Ask some more, I'm going to give you another answer. Ask again, I'm going to give you another answer. You mad that my answer didn't come at the time that you wanted to? But who you think you is?
This is also an advocate for Kanye.
No. What it is, I just like the challenge because
I know, I get it.
But I because I understand that we have grace for certain people, and we don't have as much grace for others. And it's only really because of the weight of responsibility that they hold. Because John Gray, he got books out, you're the advocate. We don't expect you to mess up like this and to treat it the way that you treated it based off the videos that we saw.
Right.
And that's really what that stuff is. When we get back, y'all, we get back in Bigger Chronicles. Big Frank just cutting up this morning. It's going down. Big Frank in the morning. Let's go. Let's get it. You cutting up this morning? Oh my God, what is wrong with him? Get him off the show. Get him off.
It's Big Frank don't need to be in the morning no more. He don't. But no, I get it, and I think the church now, if you make a mistake, and I'm saying the modern day church, not the old mothers
I feel like
that judge your life.
We more
the modern day church. Now. If you fall short, if you're accountable. It's kind of like, yo, at least they admitted to it. And I think that's the conversation. Hey, Derica, that's the conversation. It's like we as preachers. We as preachers.
No, I'm just gonna accept it. Just give it.
We as preachers, we understand the platform and the pedestal that we're put on, but we also know that we are not error free. Yeah. And I think in situations like. Even when you had the situation where you had to come clean, most people were like, yo, even though he fell short, let's love on him, let's hug him, let's tell him we still love him. We don't look at him different. We don't, that's still Elder Frank, that's still Bishop Armor Bearer. He out here still bearing arms. Like we didn't look at you differently because we identified our mistakes in you. And I think with his situation, with Mr. Gray, in this situation, he lost respect because it was like, sir, if you had just said, yeah, I cheated multiple times, I had a perversion issue, I'm dealing with it now with my wife. I am sorry for being out here and misleading. The church would have been like, okay, we get it, and kind of move forward. But blaming it on somebody is what dug him in. You say this every morning.
What I was gonna say earlier, or when I was gonna say, you said that you was gonna let your husband just say what he was gonna finish or whatever. I was just gonna say, I was like, look, if he a shepherd or some in that church and he talking crazy, nah, you need to stop him. Don't let him keep going.
I'm not. Listen,
No,
let him keep
going. You publicly cover. You privately have conversations.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. If my wife go out there and call Keisha, John Brown,
you start saying wild stuff.
Not cutting Keisha. Wow.
I'm just saying. You start saying
she didn't do it.
You start saying
I'm not aware of what you're talking about. Fred, we have witness. I'm not aware of what you're talking about.
I'm not.
Man, I'm not aware.
I'm talking about this. I'm talking about just in your teaching and you just over the pulpit preaching and you just going left.
I mean, if you pull, I'll say it this way: if you pull Carlton Pearson, I may be like,
I'm looking for the ushers.
Carlton Pearson was just on Larry.
I know he was. It's sad when you labeled the fallen bishop, but like,
I'm looking for the ushers.
If you pull a Carlton Pearson, be like, oh, everybody getting into heaven. Oh, okay, so we gonna wrap this up.
Good morning.
We gonna wrap this up, sir. Like, no, we're not.
Lord, I will live.
No, I just because the truth of the matter is, our leaders they're not perfect,
right?
And that's fine.
And I think also,
and we all need to come together and be like, look,
and I think
everybody's human, they're gonna mess up.
Right. I have. Who God allowed me to cover has will get more words from me than the clips you're gonna get on Facebook, YouTube, and around the world.
Right.
You're gonna get you're gonna get that. Wherever I got 6 locations, 7 locations was under me. You're gonna get that. The world everybody won't always get the explanation. Everybody won't get the reason. Oh, why you? And then it's also when the world found out. But some people. The church already knew.
Yeah.
We've already gone through this already. So what y'all want now, we've already gotten and been through. Mm-hmm. We on the outcome. We done got the. Watch my words. Forgive me if you're out there, woman. I'm not calling you a witch, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We already got the witch out the church with this agenda, because that's how it's delivered. And the man has a responsibility to get himself into alignment as well. Like, yo. You saw this. You engaged in this. You're responsible just as much as she is. It ain't a one-way sleep creep. Unless it's rape.
Right.
But definitely so. But at the same time, I'm not going to reduce what it is. Now, if there is an agenda, if there was one, or because it happened. Let me help y'all real quick, because for even those that don't know who ain't got. If you ain't got oil, you don't know about this. But with those who have oil, the anointing becomes attractive. Number 2, leadership, being able to lead is attractive. Okay? So as a man, we have to be careful how we interact, how we talk, how we engage, what we say, where we go, what we do. Especially as a married man, because of the fact that a conversation of healing and deliverance can change into y'all being open about discussion, and you can consider yourself, I'm just being open because I feel like this experience will aid you in where to go and what to do. Right. But now y'all flowing too consistently. Now a door is open, now y'all relating. And your wife is a boss, handling her business, so we work together, we live in our life, but I'm also in my bag too. So when I'm not present, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that conversation of deliverance or breakthrough or healing or whatever, if it's not tamed by the oil of God and not your flesh, and you don't have the wisdom, you're liable to get caught up. Listen, I done slayed a few. Started out as somebody, yep.
The only reason why for me, as a woman that struck a nerve is because, and I'm gonna say this, and people gonna get mad, and men are gonna get mad, and I don't care because I'm Jay Shree and I can do this.
Come on, talk to him.
Whatever. When a man falls short in church, they get more grace. Mm-hmm. But when they find out who the woman is, She is dragged through the mud. You a Jezebel. You a harlot. You a skank. You a hoe.
That's
you
because.
But the man gets grace. The thing is, the man gets grace. Oh, he's a guy. He's a man. He was just being a man. No, he's a man, a guy. He don't need to be poking and stiffing and pucking and all the other kind of
I'm
stuff.
going to tell you why. Because it's a grace you cannot see, and there's a grace you can see. When I say that, I means that the man can sin, and there's no evidence on him in the moment that he's sinned. But if you fall short, you get pregnant. There's evidence.
But even if you don't get pregnant.
But because of this, the layout, there's evidence that you've fallen because there's no husband and you got a baby. So, just on average, typical observation, they begin to be able to tell, we can blame you more. You have no denial in your statement. We know it's you. We know you out there doing it because there's evidence because you're showing. You get what I'm saying? But that mindset still translates over because the man, we don't see it.
But
Same
when there's
thing.
no baby,
but
and
watch
you
this.
find out y'all was sleeping and creeping with no baby.
Because
the man still gets more grace
because
than the
though
woman.
there's no kid, the scenario's still the same. The same way why we do homosexuals the way we do. Because to be gay undercover, we're not going to say nothing. But the fact that you are out and flamboyant, there is now evidence of your sin. Therefore, psychologically, we can now put more pressure on you because we know based on your expression that you get.
That's still not right, though.
I'm not saying it's right.
It's not right.
See, asking what's right and asking what's why is two different questions.
Because even for the openly gay person, I don't condone it. I don't. Even though I walk down memory lane with y'all, I do not condone it. But I have more respect for that person living their truth than the covert that's out here. You a husband, but you covert. And you giving diseases to your wife.
No,
because you got booty bounce. I got a problem with that.
I hear you, but my concept is different because that same husband man still got a battle inside himself that he's trying to figure out and deal with. Now, we talk about sin, we talk about falling short, and it sounds good until we see it on paper and you realize, no, I am a man, but I've been molested, or I do have a perverse appetite for things, and I'm battling between the two, and I'm fighting, and I'm not going to hold y'all. Let's just be real. Ain't nobody always willing to tell you, oh, I'm fighting this addiction. Nah, y'all don't want me to talk for real. Because if that man is married because he loves his wife, I mean, this is what I want, but let me just knock on this door real quick. This morning, because now maybe I got into pornography, which now opened up a whole nother door. It doesn't have to stem from I've been molested or whatever. I opened up a door of pornography.
Something, and interested. And now
that wasn't enough. Yeah.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Now I've got into something else, and so what's been happening is I've been battling internally with myself for so long, and what's happening is because I haven't fed my spirit or my fight hasn't been strong, I've now succumbed to the appetite of my inner, and I've acted upon it. Now you found out. So now we're mad. So I'm not going to demote him entirely or say more respect for the man who out here gladly being free in his truth of who he is, because you don't know if it's me just creeping or I'm literally battling. This is really I'm battling.
But if you are battling and you're married, have that conversation.
Wait, Nick, because no, it's real talk.
I've been here. Now I've been here. It is very hard to open up about something that one, you not sure about, two, you know it's wrong, but you still is like on the fence about it, and three, with somebody that you don't want to hurt because you are in the place that
but you're going to hurt them more if she finds out about it,
or
if you catch something.
Say that one more time.
You're going to hurt them more.
Say it again. Say that word. If.
No, I said you're going to hurt them more.
You said if, because and
you're going to hurt them more because one, she going to find out you've been out here sleeping with these dudes. Second, if you brought something home to her, you put her in danger. You put her in danger.
Because the way
I would rather you tell me this is something I am struggling with.
That's what you want.
Then you know, because me personally, I would understand.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather you tell me this is something I'm struggling with than you out here screwing 15 dudes, bring me something home that'll put my body in danger and could possibly kill me because you didn't want to have a conversation. It's selfish.
Number one,
I hear you on that.
It's not.
I definitely hear you on that. But like I said before, like I've been in a place where I was confused.
Right.
So because I was confused, I couldn't say how I really wanted to say, and as things went on, I had to figure it out for myself, and I knew it was gonna hurt once I figured out what it was. But while I didn't know what it was, I didn't want to jump to conclusions about what it was because it might not have been that. What if it was something else? I could have just been dealing with something stupid. You know what I mean? And I was like, this was a phase, and it was a thought process.
As much as it.
He looked like Josh.
He did not look like Josh to me. I just saw.
No, like when he walked by,
I saw the nails.
I was like, the black guy, real close.
I was like, when he walked by, I was like, is that Josh? Sorry.
But to be honest with you, because
I feel like that goes both ways.
No, because and it's just like you want that man to open up about if he's been molested, if he's been hurt. We don't know the storylines all the time, and I'm just gonna be as frank as I can be with you, because sometimes it is the if factor, because it's not a guarantee she gonna find out. It's not a guarantee that it's gonna get out.
Please explain how my answer sounds sexist. Please.
Who said that?
Will. Please.
We got a minute and 50 seconds. Big Girl Chronicles and things that not as they seem.
But like I said, you know what I mean? That go for what I say. Go for both girls.
Yeah, no, thanks.
If she confused,
girls too.
I'd rather you get it together, figure out what your thing is, and then come to me and be like, yo, this is a problem that I'm dealing with, because I understand now that this is the issue that I'm dealing with.
Exactly. Because so why isn't it the same for guys?
I'm gonna tell you why.
It take longer. Our trust factor ain't there.
It's the trust factor. It's the standard of what a man is. It is the quality of what we bring to the table. It's the standard that we set up in our own household. We now come and tell you that there's an issue with my attraction towards an opposite. I wish to tell you that I've been poked in the butt at a young age. To tell you things. Yeah, I don't know what fantasy world we're living in, but that's a lot. I'm gonna tell you what it really takes. It's really gonna take heavy Jesus and another place of security, real conviction, a real change, a real adjustment for me to be able to talk from a place called victory and not my failure. Because there's everywhere I feel that there's failure.
Right.
I feel disappointed. I feel unworthy, unfit. I shouldn't be a father. I shouldn't be a husband. Battling this, these mental challenges that I'm having are very intense to me.
In this relationship.
And
I'm doing you wrong.
Right. And I don't want to hurt you and all that kind of conversation. But at the same time, but I love you. My love has not diminished for you. I'm really battling a personal issue, and I really don't even know how to articulate my words to express it to anybody.
End of the day, we need to come to a place where in the church we can still be human and be holy.
Human.
We gotta be human. We need to understand that we need to be human and holy.
We coming in hot, Big Girl Chronicles.
Human and holy, y'all. That's gonna be my closing thought.
All these daggone heated conversations.
I'm loving it.
Jay Cherie is on you.
What's good, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is Big Girl Chronicles. Listen, if you're not following our YouTube, you don't know what you're doing with your life. Right. But no, for this Big Girl Chronicles, I want to talk about the subject. Things aren't always what they seem. So I was following a story about Jim Jones. Jim Jones, he passed on signing Drake. Because when he saw him on Degrassi, he saw him in a wheelchair, and he was like, "What can I do with this dude? He's in a wheelchair." And he also passed on another. I think he also passed on J. Cole because he was like, he kind of sounded like this person. So what can I do with him? And in this passing of this opportunity, he missed out on money. He missed out on great contracts. He missed out on a different type of notoriety and even some forms of ownership because things did not look like what they seemed. You saw Drake in a wheelchair and was like, "What can you do with him?" And Drake out here highlight blinging, making money, and you missed out on this opportunity. So what you mean, Jay Cherie? Things are not always what they seem, ladies, and this one is for you. Tall, dark, and handsome may not always be for you, okay? You judging a man because he's out here, he got a hoodie and some jeans on, and you're judging him based on his wardrobe, but he can actually be a multi-millionaire out here living his best life, but in plain clothes because he doesn't want to be used by women just seeking out people with money. He may not be the type that you are looking for, ladies. We have to stop judging these men based on what we think, is our preference. Yes, we have a preference, and that's what preferences are, something that you prefer. But to downplay what a possibility of a man could be based on his exterior appearance or what he may drive. I got a brother who's anointed, but he was driving a raggedy car for a long time. But he got a whole radio station. He out here about to be a millionaire.
Come on.
Don't sit there and act like you sensitive. Even your own spiritual father said your car was raggedy. But he had, before that, he also had a Cadillac. He also had other cars. But if you based him on when you met him when he was driving that one car,
come on,
you would have met, Tyra could have missed the opportunity of marrying an amazing man.
Missed it?
So what are you saying, Jay Sharif? Stop judging these men based on their appearance. Use your discernment. Pray about him. Because you may be shutting down a blessing.
Yes.
Because you're beautiful.
Yeah.
But judging him is not intelligent.
Not intelligent.
Be graceful.
Be graceful.
Be a big girl.
Be a big girl. Jay put on Black Big Girl Chronicles, but it is what it is. It's going down. I definitely had a two-door Saturn. Definitely had a Cadillac Candy.
Yeah.
Definitely had a 2002 truck.
Oh.
2004 Buick.
We definitely had Keisha.
Keisha. I had a 1994 Jeep Cherokee. I had a lot of cars. And a 1995 Lumina Lucille. Yeah, I don't know about her. And then the Lord blessed me with a 2019 Ford Fusion that I got 2020.
Yeah.
What was that? Ford Edge, and now I'm going to pick up another one. Look, I gotta just,
you gotta do.
It keeps happening for me. It's going down. Let's get Frank in the morning. It's going down. Let's go.
So Will said your answer is right, but it's females that are out there bringing diseases to men and not saying nothing. But when the men finds out, females flipping it on men. I never said that women.
Never said women didn't.
I never said women didn't bring diseases out here. I just posed a scenario.
Yeah.
Because I can't say there ain't some raggedy women out here doing, the Angelas from Why Did I Get Married? It was like, I got my shot. I was just waiting for you to say something. Boom. I was just using that as a scenario. I think but this goes down to the basis of being with the right person.
Absolutely.
Because if you are with the right person, even saying, hey, I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
You should be able to share this with your mate. And they're not going to, let's pray about this. Let's get to the root. Let's find out. But if you are dating a raggedy person, or you're dating somebody who's not qualified to be with you, you're going to get those responses. And you're going to get the toxic, so what you do? You expose me to stuff you do? No, that's my point. The conversation needs to be had, but it needs to be had with the right person.
I will say this. Man, y'all gonna be mad at me just a little bit. Not totally.
We mad at Frank.
Cause y'all be mad at Frank, but
they mad at Frank every day.
Love the Dark Knight though. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, and it's hard, but man, you gonna have to try to trust somebody.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, and you gonna have to put that foot forward, and you never know, because I'll be real. I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but I thought the conversation was gonna be really hard, and come to find out, all she wanted was me to say something.
And honestly, that's all we want. I get it.
It's hard though. Don't get me wrong, it's hard, and I get it, because just like how women got trust issues, I had trust issues too. So
right.
you know what I mean? Deep, man. That's civilized from society up.
Right.
Trust issues. You know what I mean?
That's why men need a place where men can be men for real and talk, because some dialogues, I'm not gonna hold you. Though she's your mate, she's your helpmate. Y'all may not like my truths. There are some details about life in general and being a man and manhood that don't always translate well to the significant other. And I know, be your best friend. Yeah, take all my little secrets. All my little secrets. I don't know what the words.
It's your my little secret.
Oh, you're my little secret.
I thought he was gonna go Alicia Keys first, but then he didn't do that.
It's
So
cool. It happens.
I'm so wrong. Make it up worse. That's what I do. But I think because you feel like you need that pre-conversation to prepare you for that dialogue.
Yeah.
And the fear that you have is that if I tell you this, the risk of losing once I've had the conversation. 2, that your view in manhood for me is changed. Now you don't respect me.
But every woman is not going to challenge your man.
And nobody saying every woman is, but,
Right.
You know,
These are just the things.
these are things that happen, and I've seen it happen more than I've seen it not happen.
Yeah. And these are areas that these are the things that go through our mind when we talk about why you just tell us.
I told a girl, I was like, look, you know, I don't say certain things because, you know, I'm not really based off things that you said prior. Like, I was like, I never brought up going to church because when I met you, we wasn't even talking about it or nothing. And you was like, you know, you don't like going to church. You think church people are, you know, this, that, and the third. So I'm going to go to church, but I'm not going to ask you to come to church with me because you already put your thing out there. And then later on, you go to line and be like, well, you know, you could have just asked me to come. I would have came. And I'm like, well, when I first met you, you said you ain't like it, so I took it.
Y'all don't think we pay attention to what we do, and we watch how you comment about other things.
Right, especially all the negative things. I don't know the positives. I know every single negative thing that you have said, and I have once again, say you don't like going out to eat, so I go out to eat with the homies. And then you get mad.
You get mad to it.
But you say you don't like going out to eat. Like, what you want me to do?
No,
And it's not like I didn't ask you before. You just kept telling me no. So I stopped asking you. When I want to go down to get bowling swings, I'm gonna get it.
This is a real situation because as much as I love my wife, and she be like, why me don't go to the? I've offered a movie for you. We've been dating, we've been talking, and we've been offering movies several times. You have denied me. After 3 denials, I'm not requesting this.
That's what
I'm not petitioning for those rejected. This is still rejected in love. Okay,
and it's bad because you know the first time I asked to go to the movie because I liked it. Then the next 2 times I asked because I thought you might like it, and you told me no, and I was like, all right. And then you was telling me Fire Stick. You go watch on the Fire Stick, and I'm like, I like going to the movie theater. So now that I go to the movie theater on every Tuesday, you like, dang, did you see that movie? I'm like, yeah, I did.
I did. I seen it on Tuesday. That's crazy.
Why didn't you ask me? Yeah, every time I asked you, you told me.
You told me no.
I honestly
I bought popcorn for my mama and I took it to her house.
I don't be having these problems.
I'm glad because
I really don't be having these problems. I guess because I'm a really say how I feel kind of person. Like I'm gonna be like, listen, this week I don't feel like going to the movies with you, but don't not ask me next week. I'm just gonna be like, I am so straightforward. Like I was just like, maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's a real age thing. But I just be like,
you know. My thing is, sometimes it ain't even gotta be all that. It could just be, hey, I'm gonna go because you asked me to go. You know, you asked me to go and come out with you, so you know I'm gonna get dressed and come out with you because you busy, you work. You might not have time for me when I want to do something. So you know, you open up this time for us to be together. I'm gonna be there. Not go both ways too. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying. You know what I mean?
All right, question of the day.
Talk to me.
Since we all in relationships,
Facts.
Question of the day: is comfortability the reason why people break up?
Ooh.
Is it? You know I got a story for everything. So is comfortability the reason
I'm
why?
breaking up because God said so.
There you go.
Don't be putting that on Jesus.
Hey, sometimes I got to.
Sometimes it is the Lord. A lot of times it's not.
There's nothing like going to a service and your mate comes with you and God convicts you and she knows she got convicted too and you know. Yeah, I really know.
I can't be in a relationship no more, you know. I had to.
No, it's the awkwardness of when you dating somebody and you walk into church and the prophet like, you gonna marry a doctor in 3 months and your boyfriend is a garbage man. That's real. It's real awkward. Like,
sure, he might become a doctor, dog.
So is you going for your doctor?
Right.
You in med school? No. Oh, that's awkward. But no, no, for real.
I've never seen that happen.
I have seen that happen before. So and they looking at their mate like,
terrible.
Yeah.
Lord, don't do that.
Like, so is you in medical school?
I need some of y'all.
No, you not in medical school?
Y'all need to.
Is you getting an honorary doctorate?
Right.
But no, it's comfortability the reason why relationships end.
Sometimes yes. I'll say there's comfortability and then there's the lack of compatibility because people change. And the person that person changes into may no longer be the person that you were okay with in the beginning.
Right.
Who they become might become offensive, or who they become might be something that you don't like, or because people change. They change. Right. My wife has changed. She don't like me right now, but I love her though. So I'm not gonna dismiss her. I know.
For 2 kids.
He just bringing it up.
Like bringing it up like right now.
Because you're hurting.
He needs a vent. Let him.
You know, she's like, I'm like, I love you too. I don't know, but definitely, but people are changing. People do change. Pregnancy changes you.
Time changes.
Time changes you. Experience, situations, death. These things changes people, and if you're not ever evolving or changing with that person, you're not in tune. That person can go before you, and you no longer are compatible.
Right.
But that also goes with, because you got comfortable with the person that they were, and now that they're changed, I think it's still comfortability, because when you like. A lot of people don't go into the mindset of marriage that you're going to grow and that you're going to evolve in the marriage. They think who they married on their wedding day is going to be the same person 50 years from now. And so they get comfortable with that person. And then when things evolve, then the comfortability is ruining the relationship. Well, because the first thing I heard, and I'm not, I've seen this personally. The first thing, you wasn't the person I married 20 years ago. If you still the same caterpillar for 20 years, I gotta wonder why you're not a butterfly no more.
Yeah, and I get that. And the question for me is like, what characteristics change? Because there's element of growth and evolving. I'm a better person, maybe more self-esteem. But how's your attitude now? You're not as graceful. You're not as considerate. You're not. What components change makes a difference too. Because it's like. Becoming better isn't an offense. Right. But if you're better yields you, this sounds crazy, a better attitude self-confidence, which now makes you now come off as cocky and real, not tolerable, and arrogant. That was smacking bullshit. Oh. Well, I don't know. So
he's not violent for real.
It's just
the thoughts and opinions that are said during the radio station are not of anybody any personal DJ or co-host of the show.
But definitely, I think being comfortable is it can be a cause, but also it can be a blessing.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's different factors. Yeah, it's a lot of factors.
I'll give you 2 things.
Yeah.
First thing, yes and no, because I've definitely had my moments where I've been in a relationship and I've been comfortable, and because I've been comfortable, I haven't done anything. Yeah. And now no one is growing, and we just going through the paces. So then when God come and be like, I need you to do something, and now you got to do something, and now you got to get, now everybody in your house is got to do something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, shoot, you son. And then sometimes it don't work like that. Sometimes, and it's probably why, they say, you shouldn't, live with people before you get married. But sometimes you get real comfortable in somebody's house. Yeah. And, they gotta tell you gotta leave. So,
yes, I do watch Love is Blind. I'm an avid Love is Blind watcher. Even with he said that show answers this question. Not always. Not always, because season 2 was trash. It was a terrible season. But when you think of the Lauren and the Camerons of season 1. They've ever evolved in their relationship, but they're not I don't think they're comfortable with each other. I think they're at the place where, as Lauren evolved, Cameron evolved, and it produced a really good relationship. But season 2 was just wow. Season 2 was terrible. It was a definitely terrible season. But I understand what you're saying.
And then my second thing, this is more personal because it's about my parents, but how my mother and my father were when I was a child, not how they are now.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to cook every day. We all got, by the time when we all became real teenagers, mommy stopped cooking.
Cause she had four gargantuan boys in the house.
But this is what I'm saying though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that changed, but that didn't just affect us. That affected my dad too. You know what I mean? So now, now we just all in the kitchen making random stuff. You know what I mean? And nobody got mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like things change. Like my mom changed, my dad changed, and like my dad always said the same things about what he loved about my mom. And it's always the same stuff. So like as long as that don't change,
right? There are key elements that exist in
stick to those things
that exist in people that you want those to remain.
Right.
For my wife, if she ever becomes not willing to obey the voice of God or lead God, it's over. Period. There's no more questions about it.
Talk to her.
Will said they're comfortable behind that wall, but when it comes to actually putting in face-to-face work, they couldn't work through it. That's because I do agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
Are we coming in?
Oh yeah, 40 seconds.
Okay.
See how I did?
Right.
Real smooth.
I do believe that that's actually true, and I also believe that a person's real character came forward when they met in person too, and their lives when they had to integrate their lives and what that looked like. I think that also was a factor because people could be real special behind a wall.
Mm-hmm.
But when you in person, you can't hide the ugly.
Sometimes you get comfortable in bad stuff. You don't want to be comfortable. No, it's a thing too.
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank. You're locked into Big Frank in the morning. What is, what's up? I pray all is well with you. It is currently 72 minutes past the top of the hour. Get to work, handle your business. It's a nice day out here in Western New York. We got a high today of 42 degrees.
Nice. Get your car washed.
Get your car washed.
I was thinking about
I made some oven ribs a few nights ago. They were banging. But I'm ready to barbecue some ribs. I'm not going to
I hear you. I
I'm
can't
mad.
eat it right
you
now.
know what? See, this is why you gotta check your friendships. I am legit mad at this dude because he was like, "Yo, I'm thinking about making ribs." I was like, "Bro, make sure if you make ribs, you give me some."
The baby back wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Once I did my little first split of my meal, then my wife came home. She said, "What is this?" She's funny acting. You gotta look right. If you don't look right, it's not gonna do. No, what is this? You did this? No. But then she ate it. Then she ate another bone. Right. Then she ate another bone.
She's pregnant, so
And then
she doing her.
The morning came. It was 2 bones left. I said, "Oh, we having ribs and eggs." Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do it again, and I got you.
I've been waiting for jerk chicken for like 5 years.
I hear you.
Like I've been promised meals since 2011 that I still haven't gotten yet.
Because your ways is not my ways. Your thoughts is.
But I steady come through with the banana pudding. I'm just saying.
This is why I don't make promises. I don't tell nobody that I can make certain things. I'll be like, look, okay.
Right.
You just gotta find
So you definitely. The question of the day is comfortability the reason why relationships end? If not, what is? Is the question of the day today. Feel free. I know I said this, and we're gonna see if it works today. Give me a call, 716-371-2780. Hit 1. My phone should ring. If it rings, we'll get you on air with your opinions and your thoughts. Feel free to attempt to call in. I'm not making the promises. I'm just saying.
Just try.
Just try. But definitely. Being comfortable is one of the reasons why people break up, because what I said online was that people change, people evolve. And because you don't change or you don't evolve or you get comfortable with the person where they were and not where they are, where they're going, it's no longer, now we are, biblical term, unequally yoked.
Right.
We're not on the same page. And for me, like even right now, even as a husband, I think I'm baking off what Daniel stated earlier. You can expound on this. That there are certain qualities of a person that you meet that you want to remain.
Right.
For my wife, the fact that she's not because she's beautiful, she's bad, she got a body, because I've been with the body, no. But because of the fact that my wife is open and she's willing to follow God and God's instructions, that's why we succeed. But if my wife, hear me today, if you're listening, feel free to text her, tag her, whatever. If she decides to leave God or to backslide or decides to no longer be willing to what it is, I will evolve without her, without any reserve, without any hesitation, because I'm not going. Oh.
I'm not going back.
If you saw the face, this is why you need to subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah.
Because the faces alone.
Oh, I'm not going back. So what do y'all think, man, is compatibility the
Ooh.
reason why?
I'm gonna say something because I thought about it. See, the thing is about being comfortable, right? Is that you, like you said, you know, you don't have no growth, and this is where the breakup happened. Is because y'all get so comfortable, you know. And this is an issue I know women that they deal with, is that now he not asking you to marry him. He comfortable with you.
Oh! I'm put up with that. I need sound effects.
So now I don't want to get married. I want to stop what I'm doing because now I get married. That's changed. I want to change. I like where I'm at right now.
Like where I'm at right now.
That's why I won't live with a man. Will not. You ain't about to have all this goodness and then not propose.
I was gonna say, you know, you cook pretty good, so. You know.
I'm decent. You're not gonna die.
You're not gonna die.
You're not gonna die.
The chicken will be
Like, you know, you're not gonna die, and we're not gonna be. Because a lot of relationships, especially being an educated woman, you know, a lot of relationships I have seen in my world, the relationships have broke up because the mate, you know, kept growing as a person, individually, intellectually, and then the male was feeling intimidated. Well, she's smarter than me. Why does she want me?
Yeah.
And it was like, she was like, I knew who you was when I met you, but it's like, oh, now you got all these degrees. Now you have this. What do you want with me? And that caused the demise of a lot of relationships. Now.
Absolutely. So then the question is, and this is very important too, because what does your advancement, how does that come off to the other person? Not just their concept, but what's said in exchange? Because if you have the ability, and this is just talking, a man wants to feel wanted and needed. I want you to want me and to need me. Mm-hmm. But at the moment that I don't feel wanted or needed, why am I here? And that's the status of the situation. So if the education came through, these things happened, and she's evolving, he felt unneeded and unwanted.
Or he was intimidated by her educational pursuit.
Yes, but that also attributed to him not feeling needed.
Not feeling needed and wanted, but then the question is,
not saying that's her fault.
Yeah, but I'm going to knock on this door, because the exchange is, how did you treat him as you were growing? Because most likely you're in your books, you're in your grind, you're in your zone, handling your business, boom. Right. So therefore, because you're in that, as a man, I'm not going to disturb that. I'm not going to interrupt that. Because baby, you're in your grind. Get it, go for it, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. But what exchange are we having? What are we doing together to make me feel like I even still matter to you? You know, because you know what school do.
Yeah.
It take you in. So it's two lines always to the street. I don't know why I said two.
It definitely is. You know, as somebody who is in the education world, though, I have been presented with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was talking to a guy, and he was like, "Oh, you in school? That's cool, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, you know, gonna start my master's degree in the fall." "Oh, you smart? Yeah, my dumb. I'm not gonna say what he said. My dumb assets can't be with somebody like you." Mm-hmm. And I, like, up until then, the conversation was amazing. Mm-hmm. It was like, yo, conversation-wise, like, you kind of had my attention. That takes a lot, dude. But you automatically disqualified yourself because you heard I was going for a master's degree.
Yeah. And that is a presumption. That is someone who has experienced that situation before and or has went ahead. Because the thing about the woman being smart, being educated, and her man is the ability to make her man still feel like he's the man. And can you do that? Okay? Yeah, you're going to be strong. Yeah, you can handle your business. Yes, you got the, cash and flow.
You get that bread.
You get that bread. But what I brought to the table and who I am, can you still make me feel like I'm the man? Can you still take that and make that happen? Because if you can't, of course, all right, no, this is a dub.
But I've dealt with that more with black men than I have the caucus. I had.
Because the caucus got some white superiority.
Yeah,
that's a whole different.
But not just the caucus. It's been
people.
more of different races than it has. I use the caucus as polar opposites, but like I've never had those kind of interactions with those who are, Indian, Asian, all of them. It was just and I'm not down. I'm not dogging black men. So before the black men come for me, what I'm saying is I've found that those comments more often among my own men than other races.
Because the black man is treated different in America, period, just across the board. Every black man you come across, the treatment is just different, period. We don't treat, the way that we treat the blacks, we don't treat Asians, whites, or Indians the same. So there's a psychological, my Johnson this morning, there's a psychological element to that, but then it's like, dag, and what am I worth to you? What is my value to you? And men are not always provided self-worth. You don't hear men talking about, I'm in the mirror giving myself affirmation for self-worth. I'm reaffirming. It's always the woman reaffirming, building herself up. But then you don't hear that. The Indians, you call it the races out. The Asians have their own technology. We go over there to get our stuff. They operate in the whole UB medical bracket. You can engineering, nail tech, massage. They got their own structure. Right. But it's like us, we're missing out on the fulfillment of life. It takes somebody who's already there to unlock our mind, to unlock us, to be able to know that, you somebody, which we say, you bring more than just money and finances and just emotional support. You are somebody, and we don't really get that feedback. So,
and for the educational woman, give us that chance to pour into you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he could have got the number. You could have got the number until you disqualified yourself by saying, I'm not smart enough to be with you. You don't know what and you missed your blessings, sir. Because you don't know what I could have brought to the table. And I think from the educated woman's side, and my sister, if she was on here, she would agree, it is very challenging.
Yeah. And that's not always intimidation. It is sometimes just insecurity because of the fact
of how society sees.
Right. And even as a man, the way that we see you, the way that you present yourself is how we approach you.
I already felt that you was better than me when I seen you. But now through conversation, I've realized that the caliber of who you are is far greater. And I feel now, so what I'm about to do I'm not even about to put myself in this predicament for denial, dismissal, because the best conversation I had was when I just gave you. Okay, I can't even advance beyond that. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down for my own self. I don't feel rejected. So I don't get my feelings out. I'm sensitive, and I want nobody else.
Josh said, "I'll gladly accept a wife for the doctor." That's what I'm talking about, Josh.
I ain't gonna lie though.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was like, shoot, I want to be a house husband.
Come on, where is my house husband? It's going down. First, I'm going to get Frank in the morning. Listen, make sure you join the karaoke on March 18th, going down 545 Main Street, Niagara Falls, New York. Doors open up at 7:30 p.m. and we begin at 8 p.m. She's digging in her nose and she's driving, and I should have the camera on her right now. It's going down. $10 at the door to get in. Limited seating. But to watch or to experience this live from home and to participate is $5. So hit me up. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, 5716 Radio. It's going down. Big Frank in the morning. Let's go. Smack that all on the floor.
Not smack that all over it.
Where is Josh's doctor and wife? We need to put that out in the atmosphere. Real talk, y'all.
Josh got a massive.
I'm having an intimate moment with y'all. These cameras making Big Frank look real small and me looking real big.
Because we're real close to the
camera. It's angles. Y'all close to the camera.
Y'all see all of the curvings.
Two things is happening. Yeah, close to the camera and it's side profile.
Side profile got me looking real big out here,
Yeah, I was trying to work on my posture, straight up.
Cause I was like, yo, real talk, I'm looking bigger than I actually am in this cameraman. About to put my book bag right here so y'all can't see nothing. They're like, somebody go watch the YouTube, like, yo, Jay Sheree, a big Jay Sheree. Nah, pimp, nah, I promise you.
That's crazy. Oh, what's the long? Okay, guys, look at us.
Yeah, I was like, camera had 10 pounds. On this side is 20. Look at there.
That's crazy.
Man, society, man.
Did you say you dusty?
I'm thirsty. No, I'm thirsty. I am dusty, but I'm thirsty.
Like, dude, okay.
You ain't got no water? You got water?
I got water, man. I'm gonna get some water.
I was like,
It ain't cold.
I don't care. I like my water warm.
I still need that smoothie. Like,
the lemonade. I got you. I gotta be lemonade.
I was like, I still need that smoothie. Smacked so hard. That smoothie smacks so hard, man. I need that product.
A real spit though, you know. And I'm working on that right now because, you know, I feel like that's my missing key to my next step is that self-worth. I don't feel that self-worth, that self-love. I don't feel it. I don't understand it. It wasn't really taught to me. Even though my dad be like, you know, go ahead, be happy. I didn't really know what that meant. I thought be happy was be a provider, because that's what I seen it done. Be a provider, you know what I mean? Hang out with your friends when you can, but you know, raise your kids. Like that's what, like your work was in what your kids become, you know? Especially because like, you know, like, not saying my daddy never said nothing crazy, nothing wrong, but like, that's kind of what I got from him though. Because he's like, my greatest achievement is y'all.
No, right,
and I'm
right.
And I feel great when he say that. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, I feel like, you know, what if my greatest achievement? I was like, you know, I don't feel love. I don't feel like I really love myself. I don't feel like I'm really worth myself because I don't have nobody that I can be like, yo, doing it right now. That one right there, that's me doing it right now.
Yeah. Some words is hard for some people. People understand, even for a man, like, because it's not pushed, it's not pressed. We got to figure it out ourselves. I thank God for the accomplishments that I have, but while in them, it's like, yo, like you think somebody else to be like, oh, Frank, you got this, that. Oh, I do know now.
That's a fact. Like, shoot, when I was in high school, I couldn't sit down at that award ceremony. I was getting so much stuff. Mm-hmm. After that award ceremony, though, I didn't feel like I was great about it. I was just like,
but see, like, and I think like this is the struggle for the black woman that's educated, because like even with the scenario with the guy, if you had a longer conversation with me and got to know me, you would understand that
I'm cool as hell.
Like, besides the fact that I'm cool, school didn't come to me easy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've been told since grammar school, like, I had teachers tell my father, your daughter will never graduate from college because she's not smart enough. She's not disciplined enough. So, like, yeah, going for a master's degree, like, there was some insecurity with me even applying for going for a master's degree because, like, you know, I legit was like, I had my counselor at my job, God bless her, but she was like, I've seen your grades. Why aren't you applying to UB too? And I told her, I don't think I'm smart enough for UB. But like, if he had really got to know me and had that conversation, it's like, dude, me getting this master's degree, yeah, it's a great accomplishment. But as much as you may not feel smart enough to be with me, dude, I'm having them feelings too.
Yeah, but and this is what I tell people all the time, because the grace that God gives people upon arrival, we don't see you for your insecurity until you open up about it or you expose it or something like that. So upon arrival, I see the best of you, low key, and this is just thinking that God is perfected.
That's what you put forward too.
You have put forward. Okay, you and your swag, you do your thing. You got my attention. I'm talking to you. So in my conversation with you in this moment, it's only a moment. Oh, you just with the word master's degree, and my level of comprehension where I am, you just elevated to a whole nother tier that I personally would have never addressed or came after. So this is not saying that you intimidate me all the way. It's like, I got my own personal insecurities where I'm not confident enough to go to somebody with such your caliber.
I could be a man in your world.
Like, legit, like, oh, you good? There's certain people that we're just not going to approach based off the caliber that they represent. Oh, it's not me, let me go get it, I can bag that. You know? Can you even pretend with that? Can you even measure up to have a conversation with the presentation of what's in front of you?
Yeah, and it's crazy because, you know, I've seen dudes that ain't got nothing I got go after females that I would have never talked to.
But I think that also comes into, like, play that knowing that, you know, like I said, getting to know a person better. Because I would never put you in a circle. Yeah, I may be in a circle with intellectuals. But if I'm going to dinner with people who have masters and they doctors, I'm like, I'm not gonna like school you, so to speak, but I'm not gonna have you out there feeling like, dang, I can't even participate in this conversation.
But that goes. That's after I got in the number and we've been talking.
But the fact that you disqualified yourself before that, you heard masters,
right? So
and just totally disqualified.
That's not
all
just
of that.
I'm just inferior. No, I don't think. Okay, I don't. That's just my self perception of me. Okay,
it's not about you. It's
not about you. It's about like.
Chill out. I told Queen, I was like, look, real spit. It's not you. It is me.
That's a real thing. Like and then and that's good. And it's good that you didn't get the number. It's good that you didn't exchange conversation. Not because I'm just your brother, but because you did. If you can't handle,
not because I want you married, but I want you single.
I want him to be confident in himself, so he can be confident in you.
Because if had he got the number anyway and did all that, that would have been another waste of your little time for those 3 months, 4 months, to realize not only are you yes, a master's degree, but you have a God assignment.
Before you got mad because you got busy.
But so what? This is just me. This is something that I say. I say this even though my wife hasn't done it. The benefit of becoming a companion is operating in who you are and who you are in God and all that you do, so that when they pull up to the scene, ain't no side swipe. My wife saw me doing this is what I do. So don't pull up talking about, oh, you need to leave and quit. No, this is what I do. I walk by faith. And I'm saying it's not uncomfortable. I mean, right now, I'm about to make a transaction today that's uncomfortable for my wife. But I told you, if this is what you want, where much is given, much is required. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, cool. But you know who I am. You know where I'm going towards. So there's no surprise. There's no, oh my God, I think it could be like this. No, it worked. You knew that I'm a preacher. You knew that I'm faithful. You know that I serve. You know I serve like crazy. You know I'm first in, last out. Right. This is what I do. Right. This is who I am, because I am evolving to become what I'm becoming. Right. So operating in who you are, she's the master, but she's also the prophet, master prophet.
Absolutely not.
But also, there's also a
there's
movement.
no real title.
Title?
It's not a real title. Church people made it.
Somebody gonna make it up.
Yo, one of my classes is canceled, Brad. Like,
master prophet.
Yeah, master prophet.
They're like, yo, I'm a master prophet. No, I knew a master prophet. He ain't here tomorrow. Like, no.
We're gonna talk Kamora Lee Simmons, a straight husband, and Jada Pinkett Smith and her.
Do I gotta
talk
talk about
statement.
her, bro? Do I got to?
I
need to let the world know
My
how much disdain I feel for her.
But you don't even know what the full thing is
I
about.
don't care. When I hear her name, noisome.
Come here, 9 seconds. 4 seconds.
Ooh.
Right now. First 716 with Big Frank, like the Big Frank in the morning. That was Heavy Weapons by, I don't know if it's J-N-A or Jana or just the name. Okay, I get it together. It is 7 minutes to the top of the hour. You got to be worked by 9 o'clock. You are late because you're not there yet. Maybe you got a grace period of 7 minutes. Clock in, get there, handle your business. But listen, the conversation this morning is a little hot. Get kind of hit. I'm sorry.
Be yourself.
Yeah. So, dealing with relationships today, we dealt with so much cheating scandals, the pastor of the church, the concept, being mediocre, comparison, compatibility, all these different concepts. And then we want to talk about Kamora Lee Simmons.
Yes. So her estranged husband basically lied about his divorce from his previous wife in order to marry Kamora Lee Simmons. He falsified documents. They said he doctored up documents basically to prove that he was divorced, but to also, show the court situation.
It makes sense to me.
I'll
do anything.
Whatever. But they were saying that, hold on, I'm pulling it up, y'all, because
you won't do.
But they were saying now that he pleaded guilty to charges also of money laundering and forfeiting $43.7 million.
Lord.
And that's probably explains why they're exchanged. But yeah, he basically said that he falsified documents from his previous wife Judy to
Not Judy.
basically to get Kimora Lee Simmons. It's for them to get married, and he was brought up on charges for it. So now.
Did you can get charged for not being divorced?
Yeah.
Because it's
fraud.
not illegal, it's fraud.
It's fraud. It's fraud. You gotta pay to get divorced.
Well, why do you think? Dang.
You know, you gotta go through.
Were they in love? Did they love each other for real?
You know, this same woman that got divorced and kept my man's name. So
Kept my man.
Well, no, she kept her name because her brand was attached.
Oh, I get it. I'm
get
not pressing her about it. I'm just saying.
I don't need nothing from him. I just want my name. Okay, Tina Turner, you got it.
So, like, you know, it's hard to rebrand when, you know, all your stuff says Kimora Lee Simmons on it and then y'all get divorced.
Yeah.
That's why
True.
I go by my first and middle for my brand because we ain't gonna have them problems. It's not gonna be attached to Nathan.
And also, Jada Pinkett
Yes.
makes it clear.
No entanglement.
She would know, man.
The reason why she made it clear, now the reason why, calm down, because all your anger, let me explain. So Tiffany Cox, the girl who played an Inventi Anna, the physical trainer, she was kind of shady with the way she did this. Like, it was during the SAGs, I believe, and she was like, you know, Will, we admire you, we congratulate you, you're doing an amazing job, you're doing wonderful, da-da-da, you know, Jada, we love your Red Table Talk, we look forward to the next entanglement. And that's when Jada said, ain't no more entanglements. Like, she did it with Grace, like, they kind of laughed it off, but Tiffany was wrong, and she did it shady, but she made it very clear that that's not what's going on.
That's what she said, but it's Jada. You need something to talk about. I have no mercy. No.
You have no mercy. I mean,
Well,
Sickens me.
But their agreement is their agreement. They had an open situation, which, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm saved, but I'm doing jail time because I'm not about to mentor you and bring you into my home and treat you like you one of my own, and you dig into my own. You got to be crazy.
What Uncle Elroy said? Now, you go in my fridge, but you can't go in my computer.
I'm your well, huh? Yeah, so and with that, and it was just so messy. But hey, if they got it together, they got it together. I pray so. She how old is Jada now? 47, 59?
Too old to be doing this. But anyway,
whatever
their agreement is, I just hope my man Will is being smart. That's all I care about. Yeah. I hope he's happy. Other than anything,
I knew Will was going through when he started making videos a lot.
Yeah.
When he started coming out with videos, it's not much to make her happy. Oh, y'all going through. You trying to convince somebody.
My man on Disney Plus walking around in nature. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just out here making videos with other people. So so hopefully she's finished with entanglements. I pray that they can
get it together.
Get it together for real and they really live a full happy life. And that their children bring nothing but success and victory and prosperity and not failure and distraction and more scandal. Right. Red Table Talk, shut it down. But outside of that,
I feel like it's just toxic.
Just
don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure a lot of these help other women.
When she was talking, because
she went on her table talking just straight up. Let it out, like, bruh. Why y'all
but they originally did the Red Table Talk to clarify that they weren't actually in an open marriage. Like that was the point. Like that was like she was like when we did this Red Table Talk, she was like it's to dispel the rumors because people have been saying that we're in an open marriage for a really long time.
You want to open something? It ain't closed up. Maybe the picture just went out now.
Well, is you in an open marriage or is you not?
Right, but they was open. They was open window. Leave that door open. Yeah. Listen, it's going down this morning, Big Frank in the morning. Jay Cherie, The Dark Knight. It's lit. It's fire. It's going down on Fire 716 Radio. Your boy Big Frank. Listen, don't leave. We got Jill Scott coming up. Tyrant and some more people. It's going down. Fire 716 Big Frank in the morning. Let's go.
He's an and some other
people. Some names I can't really pronounce. Some songs I don't really know.
Bro, I need to work on that because I'll be like Tim Bopta.
I'm still trying to figure out what the heck I'm wearing Sunday since we in ball gown wear at church.
I am praying that we wear robes. Come on, Lord, bring the robes.
I was fully intent on wearing My vestments in my chest.
So I said, nope. That's the first thing I said. I said, yeah, ain't no church this Sunday. I thought about you directly. I was like, Dad, you couldn't tell my sister in the morning.
What if I find like a heel chuck?
You know, be healed. You better be going to the banquet. You going to the banquet.
Be healed. Oh, you know what? I ain't gonna say I had a dream because I don't think it was a dream. Because I was asleep. I ain't gonna say it was a vision either. I don't want to give no power to it at all. So I had a thought that I got a call saying that I had to preach on Sunday. And then I was like, and then I asked, well, can I just like do it in regular clothes? Because like I don't want to really want to dress up. You know, I just went in the jeans and t-shirt and I just, shit. I said what I said, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thus saith the Lord.
I had something similar and found out that I got an assignment this month. So.
No, thus saith the Lord was what it was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I've been reading Amos like all week and I've been wondering why.
You're in the vein.
I've been wondering why.
One of our elders reading Amos. You all right. Go ahead, get yourself ready.
Yeah. Get ready.
You know, always got that John 1:1. I got that John 1:1 in the pocket.
No, I gotta flush out what I actually heard. So. On Sunday.
I figure out what Lord speak.
But wait a minute, is she giving me a scripture, right? Bruh, yo, this different treatment of this.
We'll find out. I don't know, because did she give?
Erica got her scripture because Chris did her inspirational work based off of the same scripture as Erica.
Oh, yeah, maybe so.
Please, Lord.
She might give you a book.
Please be short.
Yes, I don't know how to deliver, but you got it though. Take us to a place.
Take me to the key.
I'm having to email this professor like, why was my assignment marked late? And I turned it in 4 days early. I got questions. You messing with my GPA, man? Every week. Did you see the American Idol audition where Aretha Franklin's daughter auditioned?
Yeah.
I do not watch American Idol.
No, it was on Facebook. I don't know.
But was it good or was it not?
No, she did an amazing job, but her voice was still very immature. Like she needed more training. And Lionel Richie had to be the one to give her second note. Mm-hmm. And like Katy Perry was tight. She walked off the stage. She was like, everybody, she's like, she's got it on her. Just give her a chance. And Lionel Richie was like, as Uncle Lionel, because I was close to your grandmother. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna throw you out there and let you walk off that on your flat on your face. He's like, I want you to go back and get trained.
I didn't watch the. I heard her sing. I didn't watch the judges' rebuttal.
But like, I actually gave him mad props where people were feeling some kind of way about her, like about Lionel Richie, because it was like, but it's Aretha Franklin's granddaughter. Yeah, so it don't matter. Like her voice is amazing, but she needs the confidence.
I mean, Lionel like, yo, we'll talk after this. We gonna practice. You don't need American Idol. We just gonna drop the album.
But like her voice, but he said he was like, she needs to be more confident in her singing and come behind her shyness, and she was very shy. Yes. And I understand that was a lot of pressure on her. Freaking Aretha Franklin is your grandmother.
And got a lot going on.
So you trying to find your own voice, but Katy Perry was tight. She walked off. She was like, I can't watch you do this. Like you need to just say yes.
She was pissed.
She really was. She was pissed off. She was just like, give the girl a chance.
Cussing me out.
All right, guys, I'm about to end our live a little bit short. I got a phone call coming in. And I can't miss it. Or she might have texted me. Let me check this.
Our lives are not our own.
No facts.
I knew you was gonna sing it. I knew you were.
Man.
Give yourself to the Lord, man.
I have been deep in worship.
But it was like, when I say I give myself away, it's to the Lord, ma'am. It's to the Lord.
I have been in deep worship.
We do that right. Nobody text me.
Deep worship.
Give yourself away to the Lord, ma'am.
Give yourself away to Jesus.
Not to the sirs.
Not to the
sirs. Give yourself away to the Lord. Let him use you, sis. He's talking about the Lord. Not the man.
Not the man.
Not the man.
Not
the mother.
Not dropping love in Jesus.
Not dropping
Love in Jesus.
Yo,
Dropping love
Kev on
in
stage.
Jesus.
It'll be coming with the crazy stuff.
Then-
I'm still not over that twerking for Jesus thing. I was like, hold on, what?
Because my twership is for real.
And I didn't want to judge them because I felt like, you know, I was trying to be that come to God as you is. You know, I really was trying to be that. But at the same time, I was like, I need to talk to your pastor.
I mean, the fact that, you know, people was pole dancing to worship music.
This is a problem. Like, and a part of me is still like, I understand, you know, pole dancing ain't necessarily gotta be a sexual thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Pole
you know
dancing is
what I'm saying?
exercise.
And I know my friend Terry, she should do it. But at the same time, a part of me is like, is it bad that you may or may not want to allow that in church?
Oh no, you shouldn't be pole dancing in church or worshiping. You can't be twerking in church.
You know, because you know, I done pop locked in church. You know what I mean?
All right, you hit him with the.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know what I mean? I ain't never, you know.
I've never been with the bed. I think that
I ain't never been doing a crybaby in the middle of it.
Wow.
I'm just putting up perspective. Right. Look at Jesus. At the altar. You know what I
I
mean?
think that things that are.
That's all I'm saying.
It depends because, like,
You know,
I bet it depends because location and culture makes a
I
difference.
always think that.
Because like Africa, they be bouncing around.
Africa just be dating. But that's
But they got natural booty shake. It's not.
They-
Yeah, but I say culturally,
Yeah.
because
They could just be getting dizzy that day, but it's
Right.
just.
that's something depending on the culture because
Like
for them to shake a butt isn't like it is. It's not as provocative. I can't even say that it's not, but I'll say that it's not as demeaning as we make it here. It's just the natural what they do.
Yeah.
We don't think. You know. Go ahead, mother.
Right.
They ain't out here, you know, busting splits and
Right.
body yaddies
I'm just saying.
during service.
And
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Body yaddy
You know,
yaddy.
go ahead.
Try not to, like I said, you know, I try
Try
not to
not to
judge people about it, but you
right.
know, I done been in the church long enough to know some things is probably
Marianne, get your daughter.
shouldn't be.
Marianne, get your daughter.
See, that's
At least not when the mothers is
the
there.
church mothers, the real church mothers is no, except for ours, because ours is no limit soldiers. No, I'm serious. Our church mothers is no limit soldiers. Like, but the church mothers, they gone, because now grandmamas is 45, so they not really dragging people. Like, you know, back in the day, church mamas, you start twerking and busting
Stop a
splits.
whole.
They will drag you in the
Stop
middle
a
of your
whole-
routine.
Stop a whole church service.
Listen.
But smart just be like, Bishop, I got this.
Even though some stuff, and I just had this conversation with somebody, some stuff is not worldly, but the old school saints made it worldly.
Right.
Like, I remember we did a Christmas program. I never forget this. We did a Christmas program, and if you know which church it is, you know, then you know. But if you don't know, mind your business. And we had a dance routine, and a guy during the dance routine did a backflip.
Which is awesome.
Which was, it wasn't like he was desecrating, he didn't land on the altar, nothing. He landed right before the altar.
It was nice too.
And it was like, that was his contribution. Like, it was just like, yo, I'm more than just pop locking, like, this is how we bringing it in. And the church mothers beat our pastor's door down. They bringing the world into the church. This is why we can't let them do nothing. And like shortly after that, it was like a decline of young people because it was considered too worldly. Like, cause I got some smoke when I went to go visit. I got mad smoke when I first dyed my hair blue. It was like, well, you know, as a woman, a guy, I wouldn't expect you to have blue hair. How you know she didn't have blue hair? They said it was like lamb's wool. They said because of the wool was. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, like some stuff isn't worldly.
Right.
But like because you want skirts down to your ankles and you're not allowed to wear red lipstick because you a Jezebel.
Right.
Like and it's killing churches.
Right.
It's killing like churches because you have no young people left to succeed, like to be your successor after you go. So it's like what happens to the church? The church dies.
Right.
Because all the old people gone.
Right.
And the pastor ready to retire.
Right. And I, you know, I'm a firm believer in urbanizing your church strengthening. You know, shoot, like you talking about earlier. You know, it's one thing about being real theological about something. There's another thing to have revelation about it. You know what I mean? We need to be more on the revelation side right now. That's what we need. The theology gonna be there. You still gotta teach it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta teach the word no matter what. But you know, if you bring something to where somebody can grab it, you know.
Because I had a pastor that would remix Slide the Family Stone. He was in service. Thank you for letting me be myself in him. And like he was like, they're bringing the world into the church. Have fun.
Definitely.
Have fun.
Don't worry, we done did it.
If you want that,
my thing is, if you let
if
your
you want
organ player,
that old school, don't come to COG.
if you
If you want old school, don't come to COG. Just don't. We real different.
Yeah.
like that's why, you know, these new churches, some of these churches, man, I've been to, you know, always give a shout out to Sower of the Spirit because they always free. I give a shout out to I don't know what the church is called, but it's on Albany Street. My homie Shalom, her church, lit. And somebody, I said that church is lit, and like Max was like, you shouldn't call church lit. I was like, but it's lit. There's nothing wrong with church being lit. Church should be lit. You should want church to be lit. Let church be lit for you.
This past Sunday was lit.
I'm trying to be lit every time I walk into the building. I'm trying to be lit. Okay. I'm trying to be lit at Bible study.
Lit.
Well, Bible study been real. Woo! Bible study been real interesting. I'm excited about what Bible study is gonna be like today.
I'm trying to be lit.
We go on Tinder swindler being sued by the Diamond family.
He claimed he was related.
Who, somebody finally sued him?
Yeah.
Because he was going scot-free.
I mean, his life. I was just like, are you serious? But
Wow. That's what happens when you do what you do. Consequences.
Oh, yeah. Fire 716, your boy Big Frank, like the Big Frank.